Hi Cancer, welcome to my channel. This is a psychic and tarot reading that will hold you through to the last 2 weeks of March 2019. Before I start, I would like to mention a little bit about what I saw when I did a meditation for this reading. When What I saw was there were two cannons that were facing each other at a very slight distance, and at some point you heard the cannons shoot, and instead of there being like fire or an explosion or something else coming out, the explosion made it like soap suds came out of both of the cannons. And when you look closely, the soap suds were in the shape of hands. So it looked, instead of like cannons, it looked like sleeves. And the things that came out of it made the shape of like hands that were made of soap suds. The soap suds were iridescent, and you could look at really amazing images in them. And the person who was looking at the hands uh, was really mesmerized by the different images that they could see sliding and slithering across the iridescent soap on their hands. And to be able to see them more closely and to be interact with them, they move their hands with each other. Only instead of being able to see the images that they liked more clearly, what they noticed was that the soap suds began to fall down and dissolve, and they made a little like pile of like soapy liquid, and that liquid drained down. Now, the person that had lost the ability to see vision of their what they saw in their hands in the soap suds wanted to be able to retain the memory of those amazing images and what they had seen. And what they did was they took the soap suds that had gathered on the ground, just the plain liquid, and they drank the liquid. And that was the only way in which, once they drank that liquid, they could keep the memory or in some way associate with whatever they had seen but had no ability in, to grasp, because what they noticed was like it was out of reach for them because of their hands being made of that soap. Then I saw another image of being at a carnival or a big fair or like an amusement park, and in that there was a swing which looked like a boat, like a Christopher Columbus boat. I think you may have seen it. So instead of a boat being on the water, this boat was held up in the air, and it was like a big swing in the shape of a boat, and this person was sitting endlessly on this swing and going back and forth only on this boat. That's what I got as the visual. Let's see what we can get in terms of what are some of the images, what is the Cancerian feeling, and how they deal with this, and what that image has to be able to guide us for our tarot reading for the next 2 weeks. For guidance through the tarot for Cancerians for the last 2 weeks of March. For guidance for tarot. Wow. The bottom card is the star. Very good. Very, very auspicious and happy beginning. So let's start with the star card. The star card, of course, is one of our major arcana cards, and the good thing about this and the way it sets the mood for whatever we see that is happening here is it brings a really good energy and a kind of wish fulfillment to the people who are talking about, and to the rest of the cards and the people who are asking about the Cancerian reading here. So, as on the whole, the card is seen as something that is auspicious, where you may be at the center of something that is about to happen, and let's see where that is. The center cup also being the Nine of Cups is a card that talks about having complete wish fulfillment. This seems to be a really good time in the Cancerian's life right now. They may have had different things happen in the past, but right now, where they're sitting, it seems like the energies are like favoring them. The Star card and the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. Now, those we're ready for a party here, but we have to see what's happening, because the Nine of Cups also says there's abundance, but the person may feel a little alone, may need to have someone to share this with. Let's see how that works out and where we go with that. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a knight that's ready in some way to offer something. But what we see here is that there is a person who maybe, a man who has, for some reason, uh, what it's looking like is like they had something on their eyes, or like as if they were blindfolded, and there seems to be some kind of blindfold that seems to have come off. This is not a blindfold, but it does look like that. These are like stingrays that are at the bottom of the ocean. So there is something where also there is an energy of a person who is a man who's highly emotional, who has the ability to sting as and when they feel they are in any kind of danger. But what I'm seeing here is that they seem to be poised for some kind of action, because what they thought or what they had assumed, they seem to have, their eyes seem to be open to something new that's coming about. The Nine of Swords card here shows us that the person is uh, in some way feeling trapped with where they are. They are in a place where they should. This card shows the potential of having sleepless nights and white nights and worrying about something, but that will come later. Right now, where the person is more like what I would call in the energy where they feel trapped in some way, and it's only a mental trap, because the person is not actually it's only in their thoughts that they are trapped. The Six of Coins, I feel, here is about an imbalance in the give and take of resources or energies. It feels like things are one sided, and there seems to be something over here where the person who probably is giving less seems to, it's coming across that they may have more power in the relationship. When where we come to the card of judgment, it's like a call for us to have a look and do an assessment of where we were. And the card here is looking like, instead of wanting to take an assessment, you are in a place where you want to still think of things as if they were like wonderful and that everything is working out. So the more I see these two, it looks like these two cards seem to be giving some kind of impression of the illusions of those hands in soap suds, where you want to keep seeing the things, or in this card, where you want to be seeing things as the potential of like the amazing potential they had, rather than where we are, where they may not actually be uh, that may not be the situation in front of you right now. So there seems to be some kind of illusion that we seem to be buying into, rather than seeing what the reality of the situation is. I've already mentioned this card here. It's a wish fulfillment card, But what I do see in this card is that the person has everything, but there's nobody here at this party. We're ready for a party, but you want to be able to have someone to enjoy this with, and that's where the energy of the nine is a step away from being able to enjoy a happy family. So the person on their own may be in a place where they are fulfilled, but this fulfillment in some way uh, gives us the impression that the fulfillment of a person being alone makes them realize that they are looking for someone to have a to partner with, to be able to see uh, them being extremely happy to be seeing them enjoying this, and that's what would take the energy of the 9 to the 10. The 7 of coins, the card usually talks about waiting for your harvest, but being a card in reverse, it looks like as if it's like the energy of uh, it gives the energy very much of a 6 of coins, where there seems to be some kind of imbalance right now. This card is not ready. You're not in a place where you have done enough work to be able to wait for the results. It's not like there will be divine timing and then things will take their time to be revealed. It seems like there is something where things have not been done in some kind of proper order, and this may be like, as it alludes us here, as it's indicative here, these two could be interactions with earth sign people, with everyday give and take in regards to money or any kind of creative ventures that you are working on. Things are not ready to be you're not ready. It's not like all the work is done and you're ready to reap the harvest as and when it's ready. There seems to be something that is not done, and as a result, you know that you are not ready to be able to receive what maybe is thought should be coming to you by this time. There is also a feeling in this card here of feeling being left out or cast out or isolated again in some way, which I also see in this card, and also as if there's someone or something that's missing in the energy over here. Uh, in this card here, this card is a card which will tell us about like sudden things changing. Maybe it is also indicative of some kind of illness, and having two of these major arcana cards in a reverse position, it's talking about how we need to be able to keep an eye on things that are happening around us. There may be things that would suddenly feel like you find yourself in a place where you are doing things for the sake of because that's what's required of you. It's like as if you're playing a part, but that's not exactly how you feel. You don't feel like you're doing it because that's like what's expected of you, and not because that's what you want to do. And it's not like an engagement towards saying this is what I have done. This card also talks about you in some way needing to make sure that you take care of your health, because it maybe you should get a checkup, because maybe said there can be suddenly some things that may come up, and it's better to be have a checkup done so that you can keep those all of that side of your health clear. The Hangman in reverse. The Hangman in reverse is a card where you usually have a person who is waiting, who's gone into a kind of silent mode to think of things differently. In this, the Hangman card in reverse is showing us that there needs to be some kind of balance that you are looking for, where there is some kind of justice that needs to be associated with where you find yourself. There may be something which would be, in terms of like legal or in the way things balance. There seems to be an indication of that imbalance in this card as well. And I see the same thing here. Even you have to look at yourself in the mirror, like look at yourself more closely, because there seems to be something that you have in your mind where you think that you can see it clearly. But if you see here, the hangman is also sitting there with the mask that falls off. He has been wearing a mask, but the mask has to fall off. Only when the mask falls off will the Cancerian person, or the person they feel is aligned with the energies I'm talking about, be able to see the reality of the situation. There seems to be something that is not clear, it's a little fuzzy. And in this card, it's not like the mask has fallen off, right? Because it's an inverted card. So the mask is still on, and you seem to be viewing whatever it is that you uh, want to see, which is very similar to the soap suds hands that we saw in the reading, where we were like wanting to see. We saw these amazing images in the soap suds that were made in our hands, and with so much image of the hands and their connection to the heart, I feel that this illusion is has got to do with uh, either something that's like a pet project or something that's close to your heart, which is right here, which you may have uh, started to make some investments in, or it may be a love situation where you see a situation as if it is all the way it would be in like a picture book of a perfect romance. But the reality is that if you look more closely, maybe you'll see something different. And these three major arcana cards here in the reverse position tell us that things are not exactly how they would seem, and we need to be able to keep an eye on what is going on, or be able to remove the mask from our eyes to be able to see things more clearly. The Page of Wands here in also the reverse position tells us of a youthful energy, or a very exciting idea of something new, where you want to be able to associate yourself enthusiastically and be uh, aligned with it to start something, some new creative project. Or it's like as if there was a passion towards something, it was like still at a very new stage, but it seems that it did not go through, or things just with someone just started, but you didn't were not able to take it much further. And I think that that's this line here also tells us that if it was a new young passionate relationship where you met someone, you were waiting to see that over a period of time maybe things would just work out between you, and that it would be like as if it was obvious that it was the natural order of things, that things would work out. It has not worked like that, and more than that, you felt a little bit like cast out of uh, a situation with a person who could have potentially been a partner who you were interacting with in your everyday life. There, those it's in here. It seems like the person that you could have been thinking of seems to be at a kind of at either kind of distance, or in a place where you won't be able to, or you cannot under some situation where you may not be able to be with them. And you felt that this person could have come in your life because that kind of passion was like something that you felt you were entitled to, or that you felt that that's where you would go after, like whatever has you've been through in your life. But sadly that has not worked out. Having all of this on the periphery, it still is that as a As a Cancerian, your cups seem full. You seem to be in a good place right now. And I think that after you have reached this place where you have started filling all your cups and have found some kind of wish fulfillment, you will now be in a position to be able to add another cup and be able to find uh, a fulfilling relationship where which involves a partner, it involves children, and it involves family, because from the 9, that's what you get in terms of family wish fulfillment with the rainbow in the 10, and you're very close to that. So these situations here seem to be the steps or the route that you have taken to be able to reach here, because in support of this card is the star card, where you seem to have risen from where you are or what was offered to you here and all the illusions, and you have been able to be in a place where the universe is conspiring with you for you to be at a place where you find happiness first for yourself, and only then do you get into these kinds of relationships. So this could be indicative of like codependent relationships where you had to do more and give more and make more promises, even though I think that the partner that you may have felt this immense connection with was not really in some way worthy of you. And I think that at some point you realize that, but in the desire to want to be desired, you seem to like let it go. And I think uh, over a period of time, and it has been some time, you have been able to do things where you have built yourself up, and you have not allowed other people or other things to distract you. And over a period of time, it's like you've reached this the hard way. It's not like it's just come to you as like, I'm like on a path where it's like, of course this is what is the way in which you move forward, or in the way in which you rise. But what I see here is this is how you've come about this, because you've tried many other things. And I think that where it comes to love, I think loving yourself has become the thing that is bringing you the most happiness. And from whatever I see, this seems to be supported by the universe, by the heavens. The stars are conspiring with you, and I think you're on to something. And you need to be able to take this energy along with the energy of the stars and the cups, and be able to move forward, to be able to choose all of these options around you again. I think many of them will be changing, or you will be seeing them differently, and many of these you'll see these cards will start straightening themselves out, not because of anything else, but because the energy you exude from you is going to influence that what you get surrounded by. And I think that you seem to be on the right track. I I don't think I need to pull any other. I'm going to pull a card here for this tower card. It's the tower card is the chariot card, which is the 7, which is the Cancer card, and it's come up in the upright position. So wherever you are, you will be able to. This is the card of Cancer. This card has come for you in as a guidance that you need to be yourself. You need to figure out how to align what your priorities are and move forward. And if you see here, there are 2 horses. It's the same as having the 2 hands that are like shooting out. So there seems to be the cannons that shot out the bubbles. So this can very much be the two aspects of you that need to be balanced, and you will like now not let them wither away, but you have the ability to have them work for you, and for you to be able to use them to move forward and to charge to where you need to go. Suddenly, this card as a clarifier has changed this, and it seems like you have something in mind and you are wanting to be able to completely go for it. And we have the strength card here, and the strength card talks about you having not physical strength but strength of character that's built. And both these cards, the cancer card here, and this is the Leo card, which talks about a lot of intuition. Both these cards, if you see, will give you images of how the divine energy is conspiring. This is like your path is going to be lit by something that comes from like a higher source, and here it is that you will get divine intervention. You should check your planets, because a number of people who have a sun sign in Cancer could have other like planets like Mercury and Venus in Leo, and maybe that's even possibly your rising sign. Uh, so these cards are very highly supportive of the energies that you're going to be using. So these three cards here, these three major arcana cards and this card show us that whatever has happened, sometimes it was boring, sometimes it was highly volatile, sometimes it was a secret, sometimes it was just a waiting game, all seems to have worked for you to come to where you are, and this is your time to reap your harvest and to be able to enjoy the feast that the universe has laid out for you. And what you will be in a place where you will be able to see the love for yourself and work from there, and that kind of energy will help you attract the right people into your life, the ones who actually love you and want to support you and be with you, and ones who you can be involved with and support, but not because you need to do that, but because that's the magnanimous person that you are going to be and operate from, being in a place where you give to others. Let's take out a unicorn. Oops, one fell out. Actually, I'm going to take one since that one came out from another reading. So the card that's come out for you is awareness. Live in the moment. Be conscious of your thoughts. Look for signs and guidance. This is exactly what our major arcana cards have also led us to. Be aware of where you are and live for the now. Look at the signs and guidance. Your intuition is definitely heightened by these cards right here. These are all cards which will tell you that you will be guided, and you're not alone, and you will get work through your intuition rather than just through your mind and thinking of what's smart to do, because the universe is telling you that keep your antennas up so that you will be able to get the signs that you need to be able to go forward to wherever it is that you have decided to go. So here, this is exactly what I was saying when we were talking about how you got here to this place of understanding. It's by a method of trial and error method, right? You've been through a whole gamut of different kinds of experiences, some hard, some where you were ignored, some where you tried everything and it didn't work out, some just like, fell out of your hands like water. Sometimes the most evolved souls take the most challenging paths. I am aware that a life filled with difficulty is not a punishment. So, where you are, it's because that's the path you chose in this life. You've been able to come through that. And the good thing is that in this next 2 weeks, you will see how you have the ability to count your blessings and also be thankful for all. My advice to you is to be thankful to all the people who came into your life, whether your interactions with them were good or you felt they were harder. There is no bad interaction. The interactions that seem hard are only there for us to be able to move forward, and those are the ones, the challenging interactions and challenging people that come in our lives. If you look back and actually have a close look, are the biggest blessings, because they're the ones who help you move from one place to another. So this is how you have been able to move out of that swing, and you are now in a place where you can get off that, or that your boat can actually go into the water and sail away rather than just dangle in the air, because the that boat, the Christopher Columbus boat, is not supposed to be in the air just going back and forth. It's supposed to sail forward, which is exactly what our image is showing us in this picture here today. So you will be here, you will be sailing forward into new waters to be able to take you to like wonderful places, and may you find the blessings that you are looking for, Cancer. And thank you, and I will see you next month. All the best.